Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Cecile Juliet. We're following a developing story that has widespread implications for Oroville safety employees, the city of Oroville, and the county. Action News Now has learned that the Oroville police and fire departments may be dissolved and services may be taken over by other agencies. We've learned that at this Tuesday's Oroville City Council meeting, members will be voting on whether to give the public safety director the direction to approach the Butte County Sheriff, Corey Honey, to see if his department will take over the law enforcement contract for the city. Likewise with Oroville Fire, which could be absorbed into CAL FIRE, Butte County Fire, or another fire agency. We will have much more on this developing story throughout the evening coming up tonight as well on Action News Now at 11. The roads are open tonight and evacuations have all been lifted in the Bully Fire. Will not say specifically how she died. Police officers and firefighters in the city of Oroville say they've been blindsided and they don't know what the future holds. Representatives from both the Oroville Police Officers Association and the Oroville Firefighters Association say they found out that their respective departments could be dissolved by reading the agenda minutes for next Tuesday's City Council meeting. According to the city's agenda, the council will vote whether to have the Director of Public Safety prepare a request for the proposal for the consolidation of police and fire services with other agencies. The head of the Police Officers Association says the union plans to fight the move.
This is a disservice to the public, and I can't imagine that they'd stand for this. We've had a department for over 100 years in this city, and all of a sudden we can't handle our police department. I mean, what's changed? I just think that, you know, if we've made it work for 100 years, I think we can keep making it work. We just need to work together to make it happen. Our tradition of community policing and having a city police department, it's our history of this town. I've lived here all my life, and it's not for sale.
Now, we have not yet spoken to the Oroville Police Chief or any Oroville City Council members. The City Council meeting will be Tuesday night at City Council Chambers on Montgomery starting at 6 p.m. and the public is invited. We'll be following this story tomorrow as well. And we have an update on the bully.
Right now we're looking into whether consolidation is a growing trend in the North State. Action News Now reporter Brian Johnson focuses on the transition and how it's gone in Paradise. Brian.
Yeah, Tamara, I also spoke with a former Chico City manager today about this consolidation process. Today I asked him, what are the pros and what are the cons? In December of 2012, the name Paradise Fire was extinguished, and out of its ashes rose CAL FIRE, Butte County Fire, as the town decided to contract with the state organization.
Having the ability to send the closest resource from a single center of dispatch improves efficiency and reduces the time of response, and I think it has been a positive thing for all involved.
Hawk says there has been a reduction in costs for the town, while number of personnel and engines has stayed the same day to day.
There's a give and take.
But nothing is guaranteed in these types of changeovers, says former Chico City manager Tom Lando, which has Oroville Police and Fire on edge as both departments mull whether to contract out.
They are concerned because one of the reasons you would contract is whoever's contracting would say, we don't need 4 people on that shift, we only need 3.
Lando says personnel would lose direct access to the decision makers, thereby losing control over the important aspects of their job. And losing local control, otherwise known as a hollow state, is the biggest drawback Lando sees for cities deciding to contract out emergency services.
Unlike now, where city council can say, we want you to patrol this specific area today, there's not really that direct control.
You lose kind of the heart of the process when you contract out.
I don't care who does it, just if someone does it. If they have a fire and they put it out, that's good.
Lando says most cities are happy with their decision because besides cutting costs, they're limiting headaches.
Union negotiations and personnel issues and potential personnel lawsuits.
The bottom line, Lando says, is that change is scary, and the reason for such a change comes back to one very important question.
Is there a way we can save money and still provide the service?
I also caught up with Chico City Council member Randall Stone today, who says consolidation of public safety departments is absolutely a trend right now, even more so in Southern California. And he says while Chico is free to and is looking into all available options for fire services, he doesn't think we'll ever get to that point of contracting out fire. Reporting for Action News Now, I'm Brian Johnson.
Thank you, Brian. Line.
Public safety employees in Oroville are upset. The public safety director seeks a possible disillusionment, or dissolving, I should say, the departments in favor of seeking contracts with larger agencies. Action News Now reporter Cecile Juliet has reaction.
By no stretch of the imagination is this a done deal.
Oroville Police and Fire Chief Bill Lagrone says he's just asking a question. He plans to approach the Oroville City Council Tuesday night, asking them for permission to look into whether it would make sense to dissolve the fire and police department's contracts with the city in favor of seeking contracts with CAL FIRE and the Butte County Sheriff's Office. Lagrone says to save the city money.
As the revenues of the city have continued to decline, the expenditures of the city have continued to increase. Public safety is the probably most important thing that the city provides its citizens. I mean, but we are also the most expensive thing, so we have to look at where can we trim our costs.
It felt like someone sucker punched me in the stomach.
The reaction from both firefighters and police officers has been strong.
We were blindsided by this.
Blindsided, they say, because they thought after last year's well-publicized layoffs in which 6 people lost jobs in both departments, they thought the budget had been balanced.
As far as we knew, the deficit from 2013 had already been met and we were doing fine fiscally, but now all of a sudden, out of the blue, we can't afford a police department.
Right now, we're structurally imbalanced. We are spending more money than what we are bringing in. I don't think anybody could have missed that we were $2.1 million upside down last year. To say that you're unaware of it is really, I'm not really sure being completely forthwith with all the information you have. Both departments suffered layoffs less than 12 months ago. You have to be aware of it.
Still, the presidents of both the fire and police unions say they feel like they've been left out of the loop, finding out they all might lose their jobs by reading the city council's upcoming agenda. But Lagrone says he got the word out 24 hours before the agenda went online in order to avoid weeks of drama and speculation.
To drop something like that into the mix 14 days ahead of time, we would have had 14 days of just nothing but turmoil here. Some people like to have drama, and to give some people things like this, it would just never stop for 13, 14 straight days.
It hurt. I've literally given blood, sweat, and tears to the city. And it's to be treated like that, it's just, it hurt.
Now, while police and firefighters deal with an uncertain future, Lagrone says he must move forward, do the research, and deal with the emotional fallout of his decision to explore this option.
We're just simply asking for permission to go ask a question, and for somebody to say to me or anybody else that you can't even discuss the topic, you know, it kind of makes you wonder.
Lagrone says if his departments are dissolved, his future is also uncertain.
My best dream is that we are able to take everybody with us. You know, if one person gets left behind, I hope that's me.
For Action News Now, I'm Cecile Juliet.
Tomorrow's meeting starts at 6 p.m. at the Oroville City Council chambers.
Tehama County investigators make another arrest in last week's